recording on? All right, sorry guys. Yet again, forgot to hit some record button, right? And then again, if I can teach you how to control the breath and you control the nervous system, the endocrine system, your digestive system, your heart rate, everything comes in line with what the breath is doing. So if I can get control of that, then we can start to control the thoughts to some degree, which is ultimately our goal. I mean, most of us, any challenges we have in life, whether it's learning something new, which we discussed yesterday, or if it is that level of stopping repetitive thought, for humans, the easiest way into that is the breath. And it's simple technique that we make it hard, or we've experienced the thought that meditation and mindfulness is hard because you've got to shut down the mind, and that is not what's going on here. What we're doing is we're focusing so much on the breath that all the nervous system, the endocrine system, so all the chemicals in your body, your heart rate, your digestive system all comes in line with the breath work that you're doing. Then the thoughts have slowed down so much, you can actually watch them. They're not like, 10,000 chattering monkeys is what they call it. Just hit me in the face, right? With thoughts, and they grow like kudzu. And so let's talk about what happens when we think a thought repetitively. So that's the way that we learn. So we discussed this yesterday, that we learn by either dropping into that meditative state, that theta state. That's how we can start to watch and process thoughts and emotions and things that we want in our life and things that we don't want in our life and in our mind. The other aspect is repetition, over and over and over and over again. These are the two ways adults after like 7 really impact and create a habit or create a new learning, just like you're driving, just like healthy eating, just like learning a new job takes a sense of repetition or meditative state. So let's talk about what the thoughts are doing. The thoughts, you can watch a thought grow in the mind like a neural pathway, watching that neural pathway. So it's like a little tendril of electricity that starts to fire from one space in the brain where that thought is associated to another space in the brain where it's associated with another thought, be that good or bad. And then when we start to think these thoughts over and over and over and over and over and over, that little neural pathway that was like a little tendril on a snap pea, right, has now just become a big, bulky, vine that is choking out your tree, right? And so when we think a thought over and over and over again, that's when it becomes like this neural path of this 4-lane highway, right? And so we can choose the thoughts that we think repetitively, but most of us are not choosing our thoughts. We're just like, oh, I have no control of this brain. As though it's an entity outside of yourself. If your arm was wiggling around just like nonchalant, out of your control and doing its own thing, wouldn't you be like very upset with that? Wouldn't that go like, there's something wrong here, I need to get control of this arm, right? And so why is your brain any different? What makes us think that we have no control over it? And the reason why is because we don't pay attention and try to actually reroute the thought. And what do I mean by rerouting the thought? I mean taking what we're thinking and finding out if that's what we want to think. And if it's not, changing the thought. It's a fake it till you make it. It's a build a new highway to start traveling down. And it takes mental maintenance every day. So the other day, I had painted, and I'll put up the picture in link with the YouTube and stuff like that. I had really meditated on things, thoughts, and terminologies that were limiting me and my thoughts and my beliefs and my actions. And it was random things, you know, I did this like free painting thing, right? It was things like aging and illness and poverty and shame and just all of these things I had painted, right? Because these are like the thought. I'll start thinking about, you know, relationships, and all of a sudden it'll go to aging. It'll go to, you know, physical appearance. It'll go to financials. It's not just the thought about the relationship, it's all the other emotional attachments engaged with that that creates this like flood of emotion and feeling in my body. And so right now we are all triggered with some form of, you know, financial future. These thoughts are not just about this now moment and what's going on. This is about every time that you've had to struggle financially. This is now about every time that you have felt food insecurity. This is about every time that you felt not safe. This is about every time that you didn't know the direction you were going, because these singular thoughts are attached to all those other experiences. And so it's not even that you're experiencing this moment, you're experiencing every friggin' trauma that you've had repetitiously. They're in the background of your mind, right? And so then we start behaving out of fear. We start making choices out of fear rather than out of love and what makes you grow and what's actually gonna fulfill you. Because I guarantee you, a lot of us that thought we had security in certain areas, freaking wiped out. So what is it gonna hurt to do what you love, to be authentic in this very, very moment? And so how do you figure out what is authentic to you? You have to slow the thoughts down. You have to identify what are now thoughts, what are things that you're actually willing to continue to think about. I often tell students that thinking about the problem does not create the solution. Thinking about the solution creates the solution, right? And so how do we interplay that into a yoga practice, and how does that even mingle with a physical practice? So what we do on the mat represents what we do out in the world. So when I'm on my mat, just like those words the other day that I burned up, I'm not allowed to say them anymore. And all of a sudden, I'm really realizing how many of my thoughts are connected to each one of those symbolic words that I let go up in flames. And so I am tending my mental garden on a regular basis to pull the weeds of these negative thoughts and stuff that don't serve me, so I can plant good seed, right? So I can change the neural pathway from going to the place of fear to going to the place of possibility, because we create our realities. So on the mat, what I challenge you to do is be your mental cheerleader today. And so what does that mean? That means, say, instead of I'm not doing this pose right, or am I doing this pose right, even questioning it, I'm doing the best I can today. This feels good. If it is something like, you know, you have a knee issue and I'm giving you cues about where your knee is, you are mindful enough about the things that care for you and your body and your space that it translate into good seed, rather than judging the knee for being out and going, damn it, my knee's out again. My knee, I'm always tight in this hip. Instead going, oh, I'm going to pull this back knee. I'm going to pull this knee in, and it's going to make my hip and my knee feel better. I'll start to feel a little strength. Do you see the difference in the thought of the neural pathway? It's about languaging. It's about the direction you're going. Are you going in the direction of self-deprivation and constant mental challenge? Or are you going into opportunity to grow? And so the simple practice of doing that in a physical plane of repetitious meditative state over and over again is the way you learn. And that's the reason yoga, and including the physical practice, is so beneficial. So those of you who were joining me on Facebook Live, I'm going to ask you for today, just watch the languaging when you do something. You know, if something goes wrong, do you automatically go, damn it? I have found myself doing that a whole lot lately. Instead, just going, oh, okay, and moving towards it. So if you're practicing on the mat, today is like, how, oh, I'm moving my knee back in to care for myself. I'm not moving my knee back in because my hip sucks and my knee sucks, right? And so whatever it is that you're doing today, how are you talking to yourself? Those of you on Facebook, I will see you tomorrow for another little mindfulness lecture. Those of you who are joining me in the live video, go ahead and drag your yoga mat out. Make sure you have blocks or something to pad your knees with if you feel like you need that. Create some space and start off on your hands and knees doing cat-cow. Do a Halloween cat and a saddleback horse. Just move around and notice it. Notice how you feel this morning. Thank you guys. I'll see you later. All right. So you guys go ahead and set up on your mat. Start cat-cowing about it. All right. So as you exhale, you're going to round the spine high, putting your chin to your chest. As you inhale, drop your belly, turn your face and your tailbone upward. Trying to get some music on. I don't know if it's going to do that today. I will. It will. If you are interested in music, my playlists are on Spotify. You can follow me there. I'm going to find out what I did with my hair tie. And so as you continue on, you'll take that spine to the sky, cat stretch. As you drop the belly, move into your cow. Maybe start to circle the head, the neck, the hips, the shoulders. What is it that feels good to you today? Get a hair tie real quick, friends. So as you guys move around, go to your down dog. So tuck your toes, lift your hips, start to peel your feet, move around that way. Maybe turn the head left and right. I would ask you guys to get, when you do watch the videos or go to our YouTube channel, if you will subscribe to our YouTube channel page, you'll get an update when the videos are loaded that you have signed up for. That way you don't have to wait for my email. Also, if you subscribe, it'll help the business because it gives us an online presence, and maybe people outside our community will decide that they want to join our personal yoga practice. So we have to have, also in order to like sell videos and stuff, we have to have a certain amount of subscribers and videos watched. So that will help us out a whole lot. So as you move around in your down dog and start to enjoy your practice, start to move your spine, your neck, your hips, you can either continue to move around because it feels good, or if you prefer, you can come down to your child's pose or even come to stillness there. So if you're entering into a child's pose, your big toes are together, the arms are stretching forward. Today I've got my elbows lifted, so this is an active child's pose. Notice that my thighs are supportive of my low ribs and my low back is long. I'm feeling my sit bones drop towards my heels. I have light pressure somewhere between my brow line and my hairline. And I've resorted to having a noxious glass to drink out of for yoga practice. This is actually my burn glass. Wonderful, guys. From the space, I would ask everybody to take an inhale in, exhale it out, and then inhale and ask yourself, what is one thought you could purge today? Like one thought that you no longer need today, right? And so whatever that thought is, can you allow the mind to let go? And then what would you replace that thought with? Right? And so how could you change that thought to something that serves you? Right? And then, so for this practice today and for the rest of the afternoon, whatever it is, whatever thought that you felt like you could let go of, or you should let go of, allow that to, when it comes up, don't judge yourself for it. It's a continual thought, but change it. What is the new thought that you need, right? From wherever you are, you're going to slowly make your way towards the top of the mat. In the next several breaths, you'll find that your second toes are at 12 o'clock. There's a micro bend in your knees. You're going to roll all the way up to standing. As soon as you come to standing, you're going to feel the spine lengthening. I feel a little lift in the back of my throat, a little drop through my low back as my navel comes into the spine. I make sure that my shoulders are open as I feel broad across my collarbones. Inhale, reaches the arms up. Exhale, forward fold, swan dive, hands down to the mat. Bring your hands onto your shins. Inhale, float halfway up. Exhale, hands down, step back with your left foot to low lunge. On your next inhale, float your low lunge. Feel that front heel root down. On your exhale, hands down, step back to your down dog. On your inhale, float to your plank position, elbows in. Exhale, lowers halfway. Inhale, up dog, tops of the feet. Exhale, down dog, hips are high. Inhale, left foot to ceiling, reach it up. Exhale as left foot steps to your low lunge. If it stops part of the way, bring it up. Use that inhale to set up. If you're already up there, you inhale and float. Hands down, step forward and fold into your legs. Bring your hands onto your shins, come halfway up, flatten your back. Exhale, forward fold again. Inhale, come all the way up, reach up, stretch up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Just feel the breath, just be here on the mat right now. Hands to shins, inhale, lifts halfway, flatten your back. Hands down, step back with the right foot into your low lunge. On your inhale, float your low lunge. On your exhale, hands down, step back to your down dog. On your inhale, float to your plank pose. Drop to your knees anytime you need to. Elbows in, lower halfway down. Flip your feet. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right foot to sky. Reach it up, stretch it up. Exhale as right foot steps by right thumb, low lunge. Either use this time to align the knee or float the hands if it's in your practice. Hands go down, step forward, fold into your legs. Second toes at 12 o'clock, hands to shins. Inhale, flat back from tailbone to crown of head. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale comes all the way up, reaches up, stretches up, looks up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold again. Hands to shins. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, hands down, left foot back, low lunge. Inhale, floating low lunge. Hands down, step back to down dog. Inhale, floats to plank. Exhale, lowers halfway. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left foot to sky. Exhale, left foot, low lunge. Inhale, floating low lunge. Hands down, step forward and fold. Exhale. Hands to shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up, reach up, stretch up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Hands to shins, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, right foot back, low lunge. Inhale, floating low lunge. Exhale, hands down, step back, down dog. Inhale, float to plank pose. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right foot to sky. Exhale, right foot, low lunge. Inhale, floating low lunge if you have it in your practice. Hands down, stepping forward, fold. Hands to shins, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up, reach up. Hands at prayer. Big toes together if they're not already. Inhale, chair pose, arms sweep up, gaze at thumbs, knees squeeze together. Exhale, forward fold, face to shins, hips up. Hands to shins, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, step or hop back to low plank. So I'm already bending my elbows if I'm stepping. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog, staying here for 5 breaths. So feel the sides of your waist pull back. Feel your pinky fingers and your pinky toes press down firmly. Feel the webbing in between your index fingers and thumbs lightly gravitate towards one another as though you're kind of trying to pinch with that little webbing and push it down to the mat. In through the nose. For 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Looking at the top of the mat, step, jump, or hop. Big toes together as you inhale right into Betty Boop. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Mountain pose. Exhale, hands at the sides. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway, Betty Boop. Exhale, step or hop back, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog, staying here or child's pose for 5 breaths. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do a 5th inhale, 5. On the end of the exhale, do a little hop right into the inhale of your halfway lift, Betty Boop. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale into your chair pose. Mountain pose. Wonderful. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step or hop back, low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. In through the nose, out through the nose. Inhale, take your left leg to the ceiling. Exhale as your left foot steps by left thumb. You're coming up crescent lunge, high runner's lunge. So once you come up, square the hips off to the top short end of your mat as the arms reach up along the sky. Reaching the back leg straight, I'm lifting with the back upper inner thigh. I'm pushing the front thigh down. I'm squeezing my feet together to keep my hips aligned. For 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Spin the back heel down and turn the back toes forward. Turn the chest back forward. Take the hands behind the back. Grab a hold of your forearms. Bow towards your front straight leg without locking the knee. Push through the big toe and the heel of the front foot to root through the pinky toe and the heel of the back foot. As you bow, try to touch your forehead towards your shin. Inhale, come up. Keep those forearms behind your back. Pivot your toes to the side of the mat so that now you're lining your toes up at a 12 o'clock position at the edges of towards straight forward, right? Towards the long side of your mat. You still have your forearms behind you, just noting what arm is on bottom. Roll your shoulders back, push your feet into the floor. Let the thigh bones press back, but then let the top of this hip and the pubic bones start to reach forward. As you do this, that floor is a lot slicker than my mat, a lot slicker than the studio floor. Learning things, don't do splits on that floor. All right, so send those hips forward. Notice I'm still pressing through my heels. I'm taking the back bend long through the low back. So I'm using these forearms to actually press my heart up. Maybe you reach the shoulder blades down the spine a little more. 3, 2, and 1. Inhale comes up. You're going to let your hands come at an interlace or a braiding of the fingers, rolling the shoulder heads back. Take the crown of the head to the floor and the knuckles to the sky. So as the honey goes up, the head goes down, the knuckles reach up for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, hands to hips, come halfway up. And then on your next inhale, you'll come all the way up. Taking the fingers, interlacing the palms, turning the palms to the sky. Turn your left foot back to the top of the mat. Bring your right toes in so that you're now facing the top of the mat again. Open up the chest, press through the back heel. We're going to take an upper back bend again. Pressing through the hands, squeezing the elbows behind the ears for 4, pushing down through the front foot so much that you feel the back leg go even straighter, stronger. 3, rotating the upper thigh bones outward for most people here. 2, and 1. Inhale comes up. Take those hands down to the mat. Lift the right leg up to sky, standing splits. And put that foot down, top of the mat. Bend the knees, let those arms hang, roll all the way up. Wonderful. Bringing big toes together. Heels have a little micro space between them. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold, tending the garden of your thoughts, being mindful of them. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, step or hop back, chaturanga. Inhale to your up dog. Exhale to your down dog. In through the nose, out through the nose. Inhaling, allowing the right leg to go to sky. Right foot steps by right thumb. We're coming into that crescent lunge. Anjane, you're standing on train tracks, not a tightrope. Right? So back leg is nice and straight. Arms are reaching up. In through the nose, out through the nose. There's a nice strong back heel. For 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. We're going to spin it open, right? We're going to take, spin that back heel down. We're going to now take the forearms. I almost took us too quickly into the next posture. So take the forearms behind your back, put that back heel down and turn the toes a little bit more to the top corner of your mat. Grab a hold of the forearms. Remember I said, remember which forearm is on bottom. You're going to now take that one and put it on top, so you trade it off. We're coming into that Eastern stretch as you bow here, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. I'm pressing down through the big toe of my front foot, the outer heel and pinky toe of my back foot. My back arch is alive. Wonderful. That inhale, you bend the knee, come up. You're going to pivot towards the side of your mat again. You're going to take those arms. You're going to interlace the fingers, bringing the hands into a braid behind you. Remember, we always do a set of fingers first. Change up whatever set of fingers are number 1. Make them number 2. Come back down to this forward fold, straddle. Allowing the big toes to push into the mat. If you gaze over at your arches, they're nice and alive. You have equal distribution of weight in front and back of your foot. You feel the shin pressing through the top of the foot to press the toes and the knuckles at the base of the toes down. You feel the calf muscle lengthen upward to extend the heel to the mat more. As you release the hands to the hips, you inhale, come halfway up, flatten your back. And then inhale comes all the way up. Once again, pivoting the right foot towards the top of your mat. Once again, we're going to take that position where we start to square off to the top of our mat. We're going to take our hands onto our waistline to square those hips or our hip bones. And then once we get that, we'll get that interlace and that braid, changing up number 1 fingers for number 2, taking the biceps up behind the ears, now being that big back bend, looking to get the tailbone about down center of your mat. Back leg is nice and strong. Feet are squeezing towards one another, opening the heart for 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Inhale comes up. Release the hands. We're going to place the hands down onto the mat. We're going to step forward, and we're going to come into a yogi squat. Toes are at a 10 and 2 position. You're going to bring your elbows inside the knees. And so if your heels are not down, I need your heels down. So if that means you roll up your mat and put that underneath your heels, or you put like a blanket or something underneath your heels, please do so. In through the nose and out through the nose. Good job. Put the hands down so that they line up with the depth of your, or the width of your shoulders. You're going to turn your toes in. You're going to come up high up onto the balls of the feet and stick the knees just outside of the upper arm pit, right there where the upper arm pit comes in. Let your elbows stick out to the side of your shins. Rock a little bit forward. As you rock a little bit forward, watch to see that the forearms come more perpendicular or straight up and down and parallel with one another. Once they do that, if you want to lift your feet off the mat, you may do so for crow. For 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Step or hop back. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Move around a little bit. Enjoy your posture. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Inhale. Allow your left leg to go to sky. Exhale as your left foot steps by left thumb. We're going to come up into that crescent lunge, that Anjane. So as soon as you come up, you feel that this front thigh is pushing down, the back thigh is lifting up, the arms are reaching up. You have this nice long side body. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands are in prayer this time. Come into prayer twist. In through the nose and out through the nose. And so lining the heel and the front knee up, feeling that front heel dig in, feeling that back leg grow long, feeling the shoulders stack on one another. 2, and 1. So you're going to inhale, come up, spin that heel down, take those arms behind the back again. So as you do this, you're going to pivot your toes to the side of the mat. 12 o'clock. We're going to send those thigh bones back. We're going to take that upper back bend, holding here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale comes up. Exhale, come halfway forward this time, keeping that bind behind your back. Lift the heels up high, stiletto heels. Inhale, 1, 2. Pay attention. Pay attention to your thoughts. This is a challenging practice. People tend to get a little snippy with themselves. Release the heels down. Let the hands go down. Hands line up with the shoulder distance. Elbows are bent, so I'm walking my hands back in between my feet so that I am creating a chaturanga arm, right? And so I don't let my elbows wing out. I'm pulling them into the center line. I'm trying to put my head onto the floor. In through the nose, out through the nose. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands to hips. Inhale halfway up. And then inhale all the way up. Very good. From this space, you'll take that left foot, pivot it back to the top of the mat. Excuse me. Bringing those right toes around. We're going to extend up through the right hand. Push down through the right heel and see if we can come out parallel over that front leg. Squeezing the feet together, spinning the thigh bones outward for 4, 3, 2, 1. Right fingertips go resting lightly on the shin. Feel the shin not only push a little bit into the fingertips, but down through the big toes. Spin that left shoulder open. We're not lifting our hand today. For 4 more. Twisting from the rib cage. 3. Spiraling the thigh bones outward. 2, and 1. Nice and easy. You're going to place the hands down. Step to the top of the mat. I forgot the splits on the other side. I heard Bethany think it just a moment ago. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release yogi squat again. Make my left leg work more. It's not going to hurt the left side to do 1 more than the right. Unless you're left-handed, and then that'll just make you more out of balance, but we're not worried about you today. I can see I'm going to eat up with the smart asses this afternoon. You guys put your hands down, turn your toes forward, let those hips go a little left and right. Happy hips, happy heart, right? And then bend the knees and roll all the way up. Little Tibetan drum at the top of the posture would feel nice. Wonderful. Bringing those feet closer together as you stand at your mountain pose. Big toes touching for your chair. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step or hop back, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Wonderful. So we're going to inhale, take that right leg high. Exhale as right foot steps by right thumb. We're going to come up into our crescent lunge. Inhale, we'll reach those arms up. In through the nose, out through the nose. Back leg is nice and straight. Heart is lifted. Now bring those hands into prayer. Come over your front leg. Spin, spin, spin as I lift that back thigh. I'm staying strong here for 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Use your inhale to come up, come to that side of the mat. Toes at 12 o'clock. Drop those hands behind the back. We're grabbing a hold of the forearms, whatever forearm is on top. Change it out. Sending the thigh bones back, the pubic bone forward, the collarbones wide, the heart up. Small upper back bend. Inhale comes up. We're going to turn that right foot to the top of the mat once again. We're going to bring those left toes back around with us. We're going to bring our hands onto our hips so that we can center everything off. From here, we're going to take that left arm high as I come forward, nice flat back over that right leg, reaching out from the tailbone for 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. We're going to go ahead and put the fingertips on that shin. Give that shin a little forward pressure so that you're not locking out the knee, and then spinning that rib cage. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Hands down. You're going to standing splits. Lift that leg up high, face to shin. Bowing here, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose for 4 more. 3. Stop your nonsense, cat. 2. And 1. Go ahead and drop those feet. Come into yogi squat. Sorry, guys. My cat is clawing at the door. She has realized that we're both home, and she is not taking no for non-attention. Dog's not much better. Those of you who have kids, yet again, I give you sympathy. For 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Let's crow about it. Hands down, pivot those toes forward. Put the knees into the armpits. Let them peek out the armpits a little bit, and then let those elbows peek outside the legs a little bit so there's a crisscross. Rock forward so that your arms are not only straight up and down, but parallel with one another. Once they are, your feet should become light. In through the nose, out through the nose. Remember when I was talking about squeezing that webbing a little bit? Get that going for 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Step or hop back, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, and exhale, down dog. Wonderful. Staying here, breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. And now go ahead and bring your forearms down for dolphin. Fingers are still straight forward. Shoulder, elbows are shoulder distance apart. So you have your hands down and your butt up, right? In through the nose, out through the nose. For 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Come down. Child's pose, wrap, but this time we're a resting child. You're bringing your hands back around your heels and you're putting your forehead on the mat, laying the shoulders dump forward. All right. So I thought about, go ahead and roll up. I thought about doing this the other day. This posture that I haven't done in a long time. It's called baby crow. For those of you who can't do crow, it's less scary, a lot friggin' harder. So if you can do friggin' baby crow, you can do crow. You just need a pillow in front of your face, which brings me to, going to give you guys like little mini hand balancing workshops coming up starting next week, which has inspired this, right? I'm trying to let you guys get rid of all your fear and your inversions, right? And so let's talk about what baby crow is. So we know crow pose is this, right? Baby crow is just done from your forearms. So you don't feel like you have that far to fall. So you have to practice yogi squat. So I am like this, my heels are up on this one. I'm in this really low squatty position. And I'm going to put my forearms down as close into my body as I can. So my hands are forward. I'm going to try to drop my elbows down. So I'm really trying to compact here like a little roly-poly, you know, those little gray bugs, right? I know what the word for them is. But so at that point, remember we were talking about taking the knees into the upper arms, right? And then you just lift your feet, right? So try that with me. You're going to get the elbows down. You're going to clamp the knees in around your body like you're Susan Summers with a thigh master. And once you do that, rock forward and then see if you can lift your toes. And come back out of it. Wonderful. You can try that one more time. This gets rid of the fear, but this is a lot of like really compactedness, right? And so even maybe try exhaling into it like you're cat stretching. Okay. Wonderful. From here, I'm going to ask you to come down, knees together and feet apart. We're coming into hero's pose. Those of you who need to prop your hips a little bit can take a pillow in between your feet and under your bum. My knees are telling me today is a day to be kind, you know, and that's something that we want to make sure we're doing. We're checking in. That's what this is about. So it wasn't, my thought was not, oh, here you are, Mary. Hero's pose is always hard for you, right? That could be a thought, but that thought is not evolving me. That thought's not doing anything good for this posture, right? However, if I go, oh, okay, today I need a little support. There's no judgment, no thought, no emotion, no tethered extra thought attached to that. It just is what it is, right? And when I let go of that, then I don't hurt myself by forcing myself into a deeper posture. I don't hurt myself mentally by thinking that I'm not enough in this posture, right? So all 10 toenails are down. In through the nose, out through the nose. Palms can rest open in your lap if you wish. Do little bits of neck movements if you'd like. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and come forward out of that one. We're going to remove our little setup and we're going to come into reverse tabletop. So you're going to put your feet down so that they're 4 inches apart. Second toes are at 12 o'clock. Hands, if you can, fingers are pointed towards the feet or out to the side if you have kind of shoulder wrist issues. From this space, you're going to open up your chest. You're going to push your feet into the floor. You're going to lift up into that reverse tabletop. And so by lifting up into this reverse tabletop, I'm trying to push my pubic bone up, draw my belly in. All 10 toes are down. for 4 more. Actually push the ball of your foot down from the space of your shin. So feel your shin get heavy and push through the top of the foot. 3 more. 2 and 1. Drop the bum towards the heels and then come onto your back. Move your clippy out of the way. Take the legs up to the sky. And so take your legs so that they are directly over your hips. So if you looked in the video, my legs were here. Some people, your legs might be here. What I want is, especially if you can see yourself in your own camera, try to get those legs straight up. Once they're straight up, here we go. We're going to take the head and lift it off the floor. You can take those fingers behind your ears and hold here. And just breathe. In through the nose, out through the nose. Move the collarbones away from the ears for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice and easy. Bring those knees into the chest. Rock and roll left and right. And now take your face to your knees. Hug it in. Now keep your head up. Extend your arms and legs in opposite positions. And then exhale, brings it in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, brings it in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, brings it in. Extend. And in. Out. And in. Out. And in. Out and hold. Flutter the feet. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Again. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Feet down, lift up, bridge pose. More about stretching it out than really working here. And release the hips down. Find your happy baby again. Rock and roll a little left and right. Wonderful. Put the feet down, preparing for your bridge pose. Reach your fingertips towards your heels. Roll the shoulder heads back. Tuck the tailbone by pulling the navel in. Lift the hips up, bridge pose. From here, you're going to feel your right leg extend to the sky, and then it's going to drop towards the floor. It's going to extend to the sky, and it's going to drop towards the floor. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Last one. Lift. Now reach the ceiling for 10 pulses. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Put that right foot down. Left leg goes up. 2 sides. Not my fault. Drop it down and take it up. And drop it down and take it up. And drop it and take it up. Drop. Take it up. Drop. Take it up and hold. Now pulse to the sky. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both feet down. Let the back go down onto the floor. Soles of the feet come together. Arms go above your head. Stretch long. Bring the knees together, rock and roll head to tail a couple times. Go ahead and come up. We're going to take the left leg out. And from this space, I'm going to ask you to bring your right foot into a tree posture. And then you're going to come forward. In through the nose, out through the nose. I think my camera is flipped. I think I'm mirroring on my camera while I'm mirror image teaching, and it's making it wrong. It's like the Princess Bride. Well, what if I didn't poison it, but I told you I poisoned it, but I didn't poison it. Inhale, come up. You're going to now take this right knee, open it way up, and then come forward. So now it's a little more of a side body stretch because you've taken this knee way out behind you. Now come up, roll over into your left hand, bring that right knee, bring the knee into the chest so you can grab a hold of the foot, pull it way back behind you. Now, you're on the shoelaces of the top of that back foot. So turn around here so you can see that this foot is back here and I'm on the shoelaces, right? From that space, I'm going to reach a little bit outside of my right leg now, okay? And inhale, come up. Two sides. Extend your other leg out. Bring your opposing leg into like a tree posture. This is more of a straight on forward fold hamstring stretch. And so were you able to be, if not at least a cheerleader, but really focused on the way that you language throughout your practice? Inhale, come up. Now you're going to take that knee way back and we're going to reach towards that straight leg again. So I'm still like a tree posture. The knee is back. I haven't flipped it around yet. And come up. Wonderful. Now lean into the hand. Take the bent knee and take it behind you so that you're now on top of the foot, the shoelaces of the foot, and come over, really reaching towards the outside of that straight leg. Note that that back hip won't be on the floor for the majority of us, not in this position. Wonderful. On your inhale, you're going to come up. Everybody's going to swing your legs around. You're going to roll onto your back. You're going to do any little wiggles, spinal twists, anything that you need to do. And then when you get all of that wiggles out, you make your way into Shavasana. We're going to tap back into the conversation, meditation that we had at the beginning of class. And so hopefully your bodies feel a little more lively, a little more prepared for your afternoon. Right? Get your blankets and your pillows. All your goodies. You're at home. You should have a bunch of stuff. Right? I realize my house is not nearly as warm as my yoga studio. So when you come into your Shavasana, you start to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose in a manner that's truly, truly enjoyable for you. Feel the breath, acknowledge the breath at this moment. And so now that you're on your mat and you're in your breath and you're starting to feel this space of release for your meditation, we've talked about the brain as a thinking machine, and you're never not gonna think. You don't want to be. You don't want to be in the space that your brain is not working, right? And so instead of being frustrated that the thoughts come up, just know that's just the nature of the machine, right? You can't hate the machine for doing what it's supposed to do. And so that's the first part of the relanguaging about your meditation, is understand the brain is a thinking machine, and feel how it is separate from the space where you watch the thoughts. You can feel the thoughts being created. You can watch them essentially be created. But then feel how you are the watcher. You're the observer of what's going on. You're not of the thoughts. The thoughts are electrical impulses. And so I want you to start to think about the word that you were supposed to get rid of, right? And what you were supposed to replace it with. And just for a moment, as you sit here or you lay here and breathe, what experience do you have energetically, chemical wise, breath wise, just an energetic feeling when you think about the more positive wording that you were creating? Like, say it over and over in your head like a mantra, and see how your body feels, how your mind feels off of that. Just note what your breath is like, the mind is like. And then since you've got a baseline of that good feeling, was the thought that you were trying to replace? Think it for a minute, submerge yourself in it for a minute, and then notice the difference in the way you breathe, the way your pulse is, the way your body just feels on a chemical or an energetic level. Now go back to the thought that you were replacing the negative thought with. And once again, and feel the difference when you engage yourself from that direction. Ultimately, it could be trying to do the same thing to change, but you're not going to create the same change with negative wording. And so feel that positive wording, feel that mental space of movement in a forward direction. And then see how many thoughts could be changed with that one particular wording. And so thoughts should start to bubble up on spaces that you can replace that wording with. And take a deep breath in. Sigh it all out. Let it go. 2 more of those. Inhale. Last one. Take a deep inhale in. Reach your arms long. Reach your legs long. Start to wiggle the toes and the fingers. Circles in the ankles and in the wrists. And then when you're ready, roll over to whatever side beckons you. And then on your next inhale, as if waking from a dream, with your eyes closed, roll up to a gentle seated position. Sitting tall, palms resting open on your lap. So we do the practice of maintaining our temple and maintaining our mind, not only to serve us, but to serve others. So doing all that we do in service, can you inhale, reach your arms up. Let those hands fall in prayer. As you exhale, hands drop to heart. Just take a moment to hold space for those around us and in our community at this time. Thank you so much for joining me for practice today. Let your minds be open, your hearts full. Namaste. Wonderful, guys. Have an absolutely beautiful Friday. Today, Molly is doing happy hour at 5 o'clock. There's 2 classes tomorrow. So, yeah, you guys have a good one. Let me hit finish on this. And let me unmute you guys. I can't see.
Bye. Have a good one.